I'm just going to start off by saying that you sent me an email. And I was like, oh my, you were like, there's some updates that have happened with Julie right now. And I thought you'd be really interested. So of course, when I heard everything you had to say, I was like, wow, this is incredible.
Yeah.
So, so we're on with an update, about Julie. So, you said that I thought that was so cute when you said that she will hear my voice sometimes in the videos and she'll come.
Yeah, like I'm watching all your, current videos since we recorded, and she'll come running in and she'll look and then she'll go, and she'll walk away because it's not live, right? And
so cute.
So she did that about 3 times, and she just came running in and was looking. And I'm like, are you, so I took it into meditation. I'm like, are you needing more light language because of what I know happened, which I'll tell you here in just a minute. Because yes.
I have heard from a lot of people who really appreciated your talk, by the way.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Have you read the comments underneath that video?
I did just a few days after, but I haven't gone back in for a while.
Yeah. It's been very helpful for some people who've got autistic children, and you've really helped them shift their own looking at it differently. Like, excellent. Oh my gosh, never thought of doing that. I mean, you're very sensitive. Very, very sensitive. I mean, with the EMFs and all that, picking up on all the stuff you do. And I mean, this feels so purposeful that you're doing this, because it's like you should write a book. Seriously. You should write a book on how to, and Annie just meowed in the background, by the way, which is confirmation. Yeah, totally. She's so psychic. Oh, and by the way, when I was putting my lipstick on today, I felt Julie looking at me in the mirror.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I can
She
feel when people are kind of checking me out or whatever, or just kind of like peeking. Like, I can tell when people are intuitive, because they'll peek in on me at certain times, and I'll know who they are. I'm like, oh, okay, hey,
How long ago did you put your lipstick on?
Right about like a couple minutes before I sent you the message saying that I'd sent you the link.
That's okay. I was wondering if she was still asleep or if she was awake.
And no, she was awake, because you had already told me that you guys, were up and about and whatnot. So, but yeah, I mean, your book could be about like how to make the most of your autistic child. And even how to minimize things as they'll react to in their environment, because you have all this knowledge about, all of the stuff you could just share your story. I found out that they send, signals to homes with it. I mean, you could just, everything you just shared in that last video, you could just share all of that in a book, and then say, and here's what I discovered about my daughter being an absolute blessing and a healer. And I mean, it's just been so miraculous for me. I mean, I even remember this. Have you heard the story about the tree and how the tree healed me too? It gave me a healing.
Tell me, I love trees. Trees are magnificent.
So it's really funny how all my videos are tying together too, because Anne from Skin Suit Manual, she and I were talking, just a friendly talk, and we go to hang up, and she's like, I think you should put your pee on the tree in your backyard that you love, your favorite tree. And I had shown her a picture of how beautiful it is. And so I was like, what a weird random thing. But that's a random thing. But that's the kind of thing that she works with and stuff, is like marking your territory, or like guarding against black magic. And and she does, we all do something different than everybody else does, and we all have things that we're good at and things like that. So she warned me, but if the tree has any kind of like prior energy, like damage or trauma or anything like that, you're going to take on the karma of that. So be careful what you put your pee on, but go pee in a cup or whatever and put it on the tree. And I did that, and with the intention of helping heal the tree, and the tree healing me, and us having an exchange. There always needs to be an exchange. I think that's really, really important in all things, because there needs to be a balance of give and take. So I put my tree, I put the pee at the bottom of the tree. and, poured it out. And it was really funny because it was like in the middle of the night. And I had snuck out there. I didn't want any neighbors to see me.
I understand. I totally get this. That's why I'm laughing so hard.
And this tree was leaning against on the other side of the fence. And when I went to pour the pee, it went, and I went, and then I just kind of like looked back at the tree with the sheepish smile. Hey, we're good, right? So I get into the house and I sit down and I meditate, and that's when I did the blessing for the tree, and I told her my intention, and said I'd love a healing from you, and I would love to heal anything that you have that you need me for too. Let's do an exchange and whatnot. She was happy to do that. I got some other message. I ended up feeling into it on one of my prior videos. I forget which one, but it was like a couple weeks ago. And so she gave me like a full, I don't know. I don't remember everything that was there, but anyway, so we created a really nice relationship. And then it was really funny because sorry for you guys having to hear this again. For those of you who've heard the story, it's really cute though. So then like the next day, I couldn't believe, I look out the door and Nala and Annie, my cats, are like looking out at the tree. And I was like, what's going on at the tree, And there was an orange cat that was just laying almost like a sphinx, the ones in Egypt where they're laying.
I had one that did exactly that.
This cat was laying at
so majestic with his feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The cat was doing that, facing the tree like that and looking up. And it was exactly on the spot where I put the pee. I was like, what is happening right now? Like the cat's like receiving.
Huh? Did you get in on it? I mean, what actually was happening with
the cat? Was receiving healing from the pee and the tree in me. So it's like the three of us were like somehow having a cool thing. So then I go out like a few days later and I go sit under the tree, and I did that like a couple of times, and I felt all this wonderful energy between the tree and I. And then after that, because my neighbors ended up like whisper, look at the girl out there with her cats in the tree and whatnot, like the cat lady's out sitting under the tree, and so I was kind of laughing, and but so I went out and I was like sitting. I like to sit on a camp chair and put my feet in the grass. Yeah. And I was doing that one day, and I was looking at her, telling her how beautiful she is. I was like, gosh, you just really warmed my heart. You're so beautiful. And I felt this energy come up my feet into my body, just like I was sitting under the tree. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I gave her a name, and I said, oh my gosh, you're healing me through the ground. And so I said, our relationship went to a whole other level. Now she can heal me remotely. So I was like, this is amazing. So I don't have to go sit under the tree anymore. Now I can just put my feet on the grass, or I can be just about anywhere. And then I found out, I was walking around the house, and I kept like, I was doing a bunch of like laborious things, like physically draining things. I won't get into the details, but I was just doing a lot of hard work, and I kept stopping and just sitting quietly. And a part of me, with the mental part, was like, you got a lot more to do, Amy, you better get to doing. And I was just like, no, I'm just going to sit. And I didn't know why I was doing that, because it's totally not what I would normally. I'm a go till it's done kind of person. But I kept sitting and feeling peaceful. And then I would get up and I would do more. And then I would sit and be peaceful for a bit. And by the end of the day, I realized what had been going on is it was her. Okay. She was keeping me at a nice pace that my back could handle and everything. And she was giving me healing energy in between. So I never had any pain. And I have a double bulge disc. Ooh. And it did not act up with all that hard work all day long. Did not. I was amazed.
There's such profound things that happen. I'm almost daily now. It's getting so fast. Just amazed. I mean, yeah, I have a tree story from a couple of years ago that was profound. We were trying to buy a house down in Arkansas, and I found it was just so cool, brand new construction, so everything was new and clean. It was far enough away from all those cell towers, etc. And it was made so it had like a one bedroom that we could do as an Airbnb in the back. It was cool.
Oh, neat.
And I just really was drawn to this house. But it was interesting. My other daughter and I drove up one night. I was showing her it, and it was like we both kind of went, whoa, this energy. I mean, she's like, I can. She's like, I can almost see it. And I'm like, well, I can definitely feel it for sure. And I don't know what it is, except for it's so big. We have been working with an intuitive during that time. And so I called her. I'm like, okay, I'm really liking this house. What is this energy? She picked up that it's the energy of an old, very, very old tree that they cut down when they built that house. Sorry, it's really, as I'm telling the story, I'm tapping into the tree again. Mm-hmm. So she was kind of like, I don't know that I would mess with that big energy. I mean, that is big energy that I'm like, I don't feel that way about it. So I kept going back. I mean, multiple visits inside the house, outside the house. And I'm kind of like, I see you. I know you're here. And I'm so sorry this happened. I don't know why they didn't try to work around this. But I'm so sorry that they cut you down. And then as I went through the process of buying the house and the inspection, the tree was actually destroying the foundation of the house. It was pushing up the waters from the ground. The tree was doing a lot because the tree was so, whatever word you want to put to it. And so I went out and I just wanted to really recognize the tree. So I went out and I bought a salt lick. I just want to give it like a gift to nature and, any deer that were around or I just wanted to recognize and let the tree, the spirit of the tree know that I recognize it. I honor it. I bought this salt lick, which they're pink. Okay. They're bright pink. The builder had put all these black rocks around the house because it was kind of it would have been hard to have a lawn the way it was situated. Anyway, he had all these dark black rocks. So kind of like you, I pulled up one morning with this bright pink salt lick, and I don't own the house. I didn't own that. I never bought it, but wow. I pulled up with the salt lick and I'm just like, here's my offering to you.
Aww.
Grand tree. I recognize you. Please help. Let this be a healing for you.
Why a salt lick?
It was just the only thing. I just felt it. It was the only thing out of the options that I'm like, I can do that. Let me go get that. And so I did that. And it could have probably been anything. I mean, it could have been a feather. It could have been anything that I
crystal or yeah,
it could have been anything. That's for whatever reason what came. So it shifted the energy just like immediately. I mean, I could just feel, but I didn't feel anything bad toward me from the spirit of the tree the entire time. I felt its strength for sure. It was so big. And I knew to respect it for sure. And I was asking it all along, will you support me if I move in here? Will you support me if I move in here? But then when the inspection came back and the foundation was already cracking, and I'm like, I can see this isn't going to work for us with water issues and mold. No, I don't want a stream running under my house. I've already done that before. So we walked away, but that tree, the spirit of that tree has come up multiple times through the last several years. I mean, there was about 6 months when I was really healing and purging and in a lot of physical pain and emotional pain. And I would call on the spirit of the tree, and the spirit of the tree would show up and support me. I mean, so trees are amazing.
They really are. You know what's kind of funny? Well, everything that our society makes fun of, tree huggers, cat lady, all of that stuff, anything that they make fun of, it's like, it's almost like, think about everything that you go to make fun of and go do that, because you're going to find how powerful you are, is what's going to happen. Embrace all the things that either you would make fun of or everybody makes fun of. Okay, what do people make fun of? Okay, let's go do that. You know, because the Luciferians, yeah, the Luciferians have totally programmed everybody to not like what it is that will make them more powerful.
I know, exactly. And I mean, I remember when I was about college age, and I have a cousin who's about the same age, very, very close, within months. And when we were in college together, we would make fun of granola people.
Right. Yes.
For organic. And how
right.
silly is that? And how goofy is that?
Yeah.
And fast forward, gosh, so many years. And, I mean, still even talking to her just within the last 5 years, I'm like, yeah, we are fully organic. It is serious. We don't,
right.
You very rarely will do anything that's not organic. She's like kind of snickering. I'm like, I know what you're thinking. I remember making fun of people like me, but I'm telling you, there's something really important to it. So yeah, everything's like, when they say everything's inverted, I'm learning that. And here lately, I don't know why. And I keep like having to just erase the programming about, this is kind of a, for anybody that might listen to this, you got to follow what's right for you, for sure. But I can't get enough fruit sugar or honey. I can't get enough.
I've been having honey lately and I'm getting chills.
Really? I can't. It's like, and I keep being shown like hummingbird, and I'm just wondering.
Oh my gosh! I just had a hummingbird show up yesterday, and I had a friend tell me that a hummingbird just showed up for her yesterday.
Really?
This is so cool.
If, because I just wonder if there's something to our vibration going up, and we need the fruit sugar, not sugar. No, absolutely not. And I'm just kind of considering. Is that whole story about diabetic completely wrong? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm considering that right now. Now, there's a caveat to this. I do find that I have to. It's a must. I must, within a short time, an hour and a half, 2 hours, eat a salad, a leafy green salad, to get the minerals, get those mineral salts to balance out that sugar. I was massively put in a trance to think you had to have your animal protein if you're going to eat the sugar. And I don't know. I'm just like going with it now. And I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure that was right at all. So, I mean, again, everybody out there that's listening, proceed with your own and your own caution and advice. But
I was just talking to somebody about this earlier too. Now, this is so crazy too. So I've been drinking alcohol like for a long time. I didn't drink, and I moved to Boulder, hung out with some friends, started drinking again. Not like a ton, but like probably like on a Friday night or a Saturday night or something like that. And I would wake up feeling kind of depressed sometimes, or sometimes I would leave messages for people that I was really embarrassed about the next day. Like, oh man, And so I didn't even see it as a negative though, because it wasn't that big of a deal. But as we're further refining, it's like, I took a look at it recently and I said, interesting. I'm actually seeing it as a negative. I don't think I want that anymore. So, but instead of saying I'm not going to be drinking alcohol anymore, which, you don't want to do that to yourself, put yourself in a box or whatever. So I was like, let's make it a positive or negative thing. What do you feel positive around that has to do with alcohol? Well, because we have to throw everything out the window right now, like you're saying. So I got creative and I thought, okay, so what is it? What is a positive for me regarding alcohol? Well, I like sake. And so I did some research on sake and I was like, I never get a hangover with sake. I never, and so I was like, I read about it and they have less tannins and they have less acid. And so, and then the higher quality kind that you buy, like the better it is for you and everything. And then I found out about like non-alcoholic beer and what that contains and that's actually healthy for you. And it's opened up this
Did you say
whole
it's
thing.
healthy or unhealthy?
Healthy for you. The non-alcoholic beers actually have some good, really good qualities to them that the star athletes will drink non-alcoholic beer after their workout. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So it's like all these things that my head is just wide open to what are the possibilities. So so if I ever feel like drinking, I'm going to have some sake because it works for me and it's a happy thing. And I'm always very happy. I don't get a hangover. I like it, you know? So sometimes you just have to switch things around, or like, even if you're like you're saying, like even if you're eating in a certain way, all I had to do, like I used to snack a lot before bedtime. And all of a sudden I was like, well, I don't think I want to do that anymore because I really like the intermittent fasting thing. So I usually eat between like 12 and 8-ish. But then I also thought, okay, when I go to bed, my stomach's unsettled. I might get acid reflux sometimes. And I have trouble sleeping if I eat a lot before bed or eat hardly anything before bed. So then I thought, okay, so I want to get rid of that negative. And then I thought, okay, well, I also don't want to feel full before bed. I want to feel comfortable. So I don't think I'm going to eat unless I'm actually hungry, like really hungry, And then so I totally stopped snacking. And it's just like, I think a lot of us are going through these adjustments as a part of the ascension, or just picking, choosing what feels right for us in any given moment. Maybe it's honey one minute, and the next minute it's olive oil. The next minute, we're just feeling it out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, it's so interesting, especially today. Something has shifted even more for me today. And it's like, this morning I put honey. Yeah, I put honey in this coconut yogurt that I usually have. And I'm just like, it was like, oh my God, this is right. Good. I don't know. I remember anything so good. And then I love it. Orange in my water. And I was like, I haven't done this since a kid. I was like, you know how you eat I was eating what was left over from squeezing it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the best orange. I'm like, what is going on with me?
Yeah. How about relationships? That's been shifting for me too. Like I have a friend who started dating this guy. I didn't like the way he was talking to her. And I didn't like, he makes fun of her and stuff and ignores her. And it's just all this stuff that I'm just like, I don't like him. I don't like him. And finally she was just like, he's going to be in my life. I'm gonna date him or whatever. So I'm gonna do this. And I thought, okay, so she keeps asking me these certain questions or whatever, and I don't want to answer those questions. And I said, I think you need to ask this question: how do I best support myself in the healthiest way possible in this relationship? Even if I think it's toxic, how do I best support myself in it? And when I could answer that for her, I was like, that's my place. That's my place in this. I can help and support you in having the healthiest possible way of looking at the way that you're doing it. If you're going to go through a toxic situation, I'll help you navigate in the healthiest way possible. And then she was able to see things from a different perspective too. We both put our heads together because we want to salvage our friendship. And we just looked at it to where here's where I could benefit and here's where you could benefit. And then she goes, do you like feel into it? Do you think that we could actually, is there a timeline where we could have a healthy relationship? And I said, actually, yes. So then I felt like I could trust it a little bit more. And I felt like, okay, well, so maybe it does look a little bit rocky in the beginning. Maybe it does get better. And maybe it's possible they're actually going to grow through this and become very close. And we could all, me and my person and her person could have a wonderful relationship for a long time. And we pictured that, and we'd used some manifesting. We spoke out loud. And we were like, well, how did you heal your first fight? Well, we did this, that, and the other thing. And we talked as if it's already happened. And when we did that also, it felt like, wow, that's totally, I could see all that happening just like it did just then. We just created our timeline. We just created a timeline where it all works out for everybody. And it's like an enjoyable, wonderful, healing thing. And it's just, there's so much that we can play around with the energies right now. And we don't need to be butting heads or fighting with each other or trying to be right, trying to prove our point or trying to correct people or any of that stuff. We can say, okay, you can be where you're at. And some people are like devout Christians and they're just, and then we're over here going, what the heck? But there's a way that we can come together. Like, how do you need my support and love? How can we offer up our support and love and not have that judgment involved? What do we both want here? Let's get to the common thing that we both want out of this or whatever.
She's very lucky to have you as a friend. I mean, that is high level work that you guys did together there, to manifest those relationships, how you did.
Mm-hmm.
Really profound. That's some serious love. Really, that's what it is.
Really? Yeah. I mean, and we felt closer. We felt much, much closer afterwards. And I felt safer because she was willing to do, like I said, as long as you keep working on yourself and you make yourself the priority and loving yourself and doing Byron Katie's work or whatever, I'm not going to worry about you so much. I can let go. And I healed that part of me. It's like it's so cool how life puts us through all the different kinds, sides of the coin, because I've always been the one that was in horrible relationships, which is why I'm so knowledgeable about it. I've been in those horrible relationships and I've put people through the ringer, worried about me. Like, oh my God, Amy, what are you doing with this guy? He's horrible. He's da, 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 da. And I've always been the defensive one that's saying, I'm going to be with him no matter what. We love each other and all this stuff, So I understand it. And it was kind of cool to be on the flip side of it, going, oh, that's what that appears like when you're trying to control it and you try to squeeze the person out of their life because you don't like it and because you have all these opinions about it. I had to really crack my mind open and say, it's possible this could actually be a good thing. I could actually like this guy. It's possible.
I love how the universe gave you the other side. I love the full circle lesson in that.
Yeah.
That's really.
If I love her and she loves him, then there must be something about him that's lovable.
Well, there is about everyone.
Right.
That's I can see good in every single person. I don't care who they are.
Exactly.
I absolutely can. But I've realized that there's a lot of people that can't. And I just don't understand that. That's okay. Whatever. It's just, I can look at pretty much anybody and go, yeah, they have their challenges. Yeah, that's how they're presenting. Yeah, they might smell, but do you do you see this little thread? I see this thread in them and it's good. It's powerful.
Yeah,
so,
totally.
Love. I mean, that's love and life lessons and love. I mean,
it's just so cool. This whole ascension process.
Yeah.
And all these making adjustments. And you know what I think people are going to be really surprised by, as true love is kind of coming together right now. A lot of people are coming into union that were in separation, but it's like a lot of them are afraid, like, I'm going to bring forward my baggage into this and it's going to destroy things like it has before, or, I'll be jealous or I'll be insecure or I'll be this, that, and the other thing. But I think what we're going to find is that we're much more healed than we know. Much, much more healed. Well, because I didn't think I could do this with this friend. I really surprised myself. And I think that, I mean, I've never been in it, so I've never faced it before. So I didn't know how I was going to handle it, but I think it did really well. And because I just love her so much, so I think, that that's what it's about as we go forward, figuring ourselves out, figuring our relationships out from the most loving standpoint we possibly can. And I think that we're just going to find that we're just not that way anymore. Like our minds are open now. We're more healed than we know, you guys. We're much more healed than we know. You're much more powerful than you know too.
I have to give you credit because you, in one of your last talks that I was watching, that Julie came in, was disappointed you weren't live.
She's so cute.
You were talking about here, I'll tell you the story and then I'll tell you how it worked. So I'm on a Facebook group for special needs parents in my area. And everybody's really panicking about the formula.
Oh.
Everybody is, of course. So every time I see something come up, whether it's on that special needs group or any other parent group, I'm like, hey, it's avocado, banana, and a little bit of filtered water. And put it to the consistency that you think is right. That's the closest thing to mother's milk.
What is it?
Avocado. I would recommend, of course, organic avocado.
Right.
organic banana, a little bit of water. This is coming from Anthony Williams, medical medium. He's the one that suggested it. And I have really looked at that in my meditation, and I feel like he's spot on.
Wow.
That's what I'm posting, because let's take this fear down. Okay, so I posted it in the special group, and this mother came back and ripped my head off. And I got like 2 like angry faces, on the
Oh.
I know, but I'm like, what? And she's like, do you even have a special needs kid? This is dangerous advice. I don't know, maybe she was a fake troll. I don't think so. But anyway, I'm like, okay, how do I respond with love? I mean, my first one I had to delete. That wasn't in love. Let me try again. Okay, yes, I do happen to have a preemie special needs kiddo. And guess what? I have a really good track record. She wasn't supposed to live past 1. She's 23. I think I've got solid advice here. And the advice is, the closer I got her food to the natural state, the healthier, the better she did. And so I'm recommending avocado and banana with a little bit of water. Don't you know how dangerous it is for a preemie to drink water? And I'm like, what are you doing with that formula? The formula you're mixing with water. So that troubled me. And I'm like, okay, so it's troubling me. So there's something, and here's where you come in with one of your last ones. I'm like, there's something in me. What is it? I'm going to recognize this in me. I recognize this, I'm recognizing in me. And it finally came to me. Oh, what it's triggering for me is that old fear that I had too, when Julie was little, of, oh my goodness, I can't do this. Am I good enough to do this and keep her alive? Because and I realized back then that the doctors didn't really know, and I was really alone.
The doctor didn't what?
The doctors didn't really know what they were doing. Their advice,
right.
I didn't feel supported. And and so it was pulling up those old remnants of those old, I'm like, oh, okay. And that's where you talked about this the other day. Okay, I'm like, I'm going to love that part of me that's the mother walking in fear. I'm going to set her aside. I no longer walk that path. I no longer need that. I'm going to send divine blessings to me. I'm going to send.
I'm getting chills.
Her.
Yeah.
I'm going to let's just.
Wow.
Release this. So that was interesting, though. I mean, that was a really good self-perspective. Anytime you get, why are they being like, it's really, it's challenging to figure it out sometimes, but once you can get in on it and release it, then it's really good information.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For giving me the support or the lesson, I suppose, for me to lean on and go, oh yeah, Amy was just talking about this. Okay, let me recognize it. It's in me. It's in me too. That she's doing is in me.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
That is so huge. And you validated your own feelings too. You acknowledged yourself.
Yeah, I did. I was that.
Instead of shaming yourself or saying, I shouldn't feel that way. I shouldn't.
I maybe didn't speak like she did, but I had the core emotion was the same. And it was fear of, can I do this as a mother with this delicate, fragile little being?
Oh,
yeah.
I know. I mean, it's that way with animals too. You worry about them as well. Am I doing the right thing? Is that, and if something happens to them,
Oh, you do. Yeah, I've done that too. Let me, is there anything else?
Are you there?
Should I try to get her back in here?
Sure. If she wants,
okay.
Yeah.
It's,
hey, Julie. Should I say something to her?
Yeah, no, just a second. Let me go. I gotta get her, she doesn't like clothes, so I gotta get her dressed again. Just a second. You sit in my chair.
I don't like clothes either.
I'll sit over here.
I agree with her. Hey, Julie. How are you?
Hi, Amy. Yeah, so.
Hey.
Oh, you want me to tell that story about what happened after the last show?
Yeah.
After the last show, the energy in my house was different. is what I'm going to say.
Okay.
And I got to a point where I was just so tired. I just did a regular, I leave my house now type thing.
Oh, like it was bad?
I just didn't know. I was so tired. I just was different. And so after the show, we were so excited, so much energy. I mean, I couldn't hardly contain it. I'm running around the house, jumping up and down with Julie. I'm like, this is some high vibe energy. But then by that night, I'm like, something's different in my main room here, my family room. And so I just told it to generally leave. And I went to bed. And then about 4:00, I heard a noise. And I've heard noises like this before. And I'm like, yeah, there's not a human in my house. There's something else in my house. And I just, again, I'm so tired. I'm just like, leave my house. And then I heard, they're here to see you. And I'm like, who's here to see me? And then it came in. It's all the angels of, she wants to watch a video. Because I've got her in front of the computer. She's like, where's my video?
That's okay.
So anyway, I heard they're waiting for you. And so then I realized, oh my goodness, it's the souls or the angels of all of these special needs kids here. And so I ran out, sat down. I didn't run out. I was so tired. I just sat there and I'm just like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And then after a while, I was like, how many are here? And I started muscle testing and I came up with like 500 or 600. And then I heard Legion. I'm like, oh my gosh. I started, I just was overwhelmed. My heart was so full. And so it's been interesting, but Julie did go through something. And I had to get a little bit of help to understand what she was going through. And what came up was that the light language had opened up something in her. Wow. In a good way, but when you're clearing things, it can be painful sometimes. So it was potentially painful, but it's interesting. I mean, I'm noticing some things about her for sure. Her energy is shifting and changing. She's becoming lighter and lighter. And that's one of the things with the Legion of Angels is they were so delicate. Like I'm going to say like a dandelion, like, wow. Blow the little white things off. I mean, they're so delicate and they're so different than other angels I've felt.
That's amazing. I know dandelions have been coming up like crazy lately too.
And I know that, and we've been blowing them too. I'm gonna have to let her go.
How about we do some? Let me do some light language right now, and I'll do something to try to help balance. Just help her. Okay. Hishinchena puma haina take la ansasena. Hishila ana pum pamaan. Halaki e na che. He na pamamaan. Halaki e la sonse na ki pum pum. Eleki na te sanse. She's exchanging with me. I can feel it coming back to me. Shishi na e pumama na tai. Eleki e sa se shi na pum pum puma. Hala e shishi na aike. Hala sanse se piwi pumamaan. Halaki e la pon. Shinche e la sanse la again. Hopo hum pum pamaan. Ha la shinche. Hey la sanse tini pumaana. How's that feel?
Really good. I'm gonna let her go this time.
She's like, great, now I can go watch my video.
No, there's way more going on than that. I mean, the whole time she was in here, I'm having to fight her and really like entertain her and distract her by whatever tapping or whatever. I do a lot of things to settle her. And I didn't have to do that when she started speaking light language.
Oh, wow.
She really just seats right in and then
because it's like soul to soul. There's no thinking or processing or anything. It's like, it's just the purest form of communication. Oh, now she's in me looking at this that we're doing.
Oh, she is.
She's looking through my eyes at what we're creating right now. She's curious.
Wow. Yeah.
That's so neat.
Yeah. Huh.
And I just got the word delight. Delight. She's delighted. So that could be her higher self that's delighted.
Yeah. Well, the question is, does her higher self have a message to come through to help?
You know, it does. It does. And the reason that I know that is even when she was sitting there next to you and kind of wrestling around, I felt like grabbing a card, but I didn't want to do it in the middle of you talking. But I felt like I saw in my mind's eye me showing the card and her being really into it. So I think when you play this back for her, she's gonna really like this part. Okay, so or maybe you can just show this part to her. You know, you can always go back to her and you could play the light language back again for her again. You can do it every day if you want, because it's alive. Every time you hear it, it's going to do something new to you. So, I just got a headache. Let me find out what that is. There was an epiphany that was trying to happen for her, and it was just trying to squeeze through too tight of a space, and so I just pushed it through for her. Okay. I've really enjoyed this talk today. This has been so neat.
Good.
Revelation.
So she wanted you to. So that's her.
Can you believe I just said this? I just said that it's some kind of an epiphany was trying to come through for her, and I helped. It was a revelation. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see what this says. Oh Lord. Okay, it says, you will soon find the answer you seek. Sit quietly and bring your focus to your breath and meditate. Pay attention to what you feel in your heart. The answer will surface from within. It is understandable that the current circumstance is creating anxiety and stress in your life. It is human nature to want to make sense of everything in our lives. However, don't waste your energy trying to figure everything out logically, for this will only cause further confusion. Trust the loving guidance within you and know that all unfolds in perfect time and all will fall into place over the coming 2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
When time bound, huh?
Wow. Let me pull a couple of spirit cards too.
Wow, what's going on with me now?
What are you feeling?
I've got some strong energy coming from my belly and kind of pushing up into my heart chakra. That's so fascinating.
Apparently what I did to her is something that gave her instructions for you to better assist you with some things that you feel kind of rigid about, things that are just, like rigidity. It feels like we have to have 3 teaspoons of this every day. We have to have this, that, and the other thing. It has to be like some things that you do with her, even that are kind of rigid, a little bit like specific, and it has to be done this way every time or whatever. And she's doing something that's softening that. Oh, that's funny. That's funny because I got the card laugh at it all. Humor is the best medicine and your greatest weapon against negativity.
This is all making so much sense. So I pull in crystals to join me before, our calls and other things I do. But today I had these little guys that wanted to come, and they are so fun and funny.
And what color are they? Aren't they pink? Look at this. I've been playing around with this one. That's so funny.
Yeah, I know, that's so pretty.
Similar colors.
You've got lines in that one. Is that a Lemurian?
It's like it's kind of like that.
Yeah, I think you've got a very special one there for sure.
It's an aura quartz.
That's cool.
Like a pink aura quartz or something. I've never seen anything like it. I found it at a nature center. And I just loved it. Oh, congratulations. You're leveling up right now. So let go of what has been and allow the new to come in for it to be as smooth as possible. You have so much to look forward to.
Wow.
And they said congratulations on the thing with the avocado and the bananas, because it is time to think outside the box.
Spirit?
Yeah. And they said, we're your biggest fans. We believe in you and know what you're capable of. Stop doubting yourself and know that you can't mess up. You were born for this. Oh, we're doing all that we can to comfort and encourage you through this time. You're very important to us. We love you. That's those angels. Those are the legion that you called in. Pray as if you've already received whatever you're asking for. That's the other thing that's been really powerful lately. For anyone having to like, someone needs a bit of tough love if you're to love yourself and live life like you want to. I wonder what that is. But one of the best manifestation tools that you can, if anything is ever going wrong with it, and anything in your life, like, I don't know, somebody's being argumentative. You just, instead of complaining to your friend about that, oh, this person is so negative or they're so argumentative or whatever.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about the other day.
Okay, yeah, like stop yourself and say, thank you, God, so much. That person's so wonderful to talk to. And we always have these incredible, what do you call it, epiphanies and realizations that occur for us that help us grow and level up all the time. And we become closer all the time. I just love that she's finally let her guard down with me. And it feels so special. Just replace it with what you want as if it's already happened. I have somebody who's on a road trip right now, and all these things, kind of like these literal roadblocks were happening and stuff. And then she was just like, thank you, God, so much that I've just moved through this effortlessly, smoothly, and easily. And I'm on the other side of this, and it really ended up being no big deal. And I just moved right through it, and it totally happened. She just went right through it, and some kind of a miracle happened from it too. On the other side of it, she just felt uplifted and encouraged and incredible. And she just had this wonderful energy as a result too. So all we need to do right now is just a little bit of tweaking sometimes, or to just think it through an additional step, like, why is this happening? Or how can I change this? Or if I'm upset about something in my life, if there's a negative, what can I replace it with? What can I do about that?
So now I feel like burning in my heart chakra, and there's a little bit of sadness with it. It's interesting. Is she still just is that Julie still working?
Well, it's funny because I saw a card earlier and I just saw a little glimpse and I didn't feel like saying it at the moment, but now it applies. It's an illusion of, it's a letting go of an illusion of guilt, shame, and blame stuff that's coming up for purging. I don't know if I can, where's the card?
Is that around Julie and having a special needs kiddo, or is that just in general? Guilt, shame, and purging.
I think it is about her and even your relationship with her.
And that would be programming.
Right. Yeah. And maybe that's something that you're going to help. This is the best conversation, because as we're going forward and we're helping other people who've been really mean to us and called us conspiracy theorists and all that stuff. Yeah. And, all these parents who watched your video and were like, oh my gosh, I realized that maybe I've been impatient and maybe I haven't treated my kid the right way. And I didn't realize that they were actually healing people when they were making that screaming sound and all that kind of stuff. It's like, we're able to take a look at it and help them to not feel guilty or shameful about it. It's like, well, now, now, and that's all that matters. We can live more in the moment now. We don't have to dwell on that stuff, because when we dwell on that stuff, it keeps us stuck in that negative energy and it doesn't help anything.
Right. When you know better, you do better. That's what I told myself so many times. When you know better, you knew better. You didn't know. And there's so many times that Julie was just being a grumpy, difficult. And I've told myself so many times, you've got to remember this. And that is that 9 times out of 10, it's because she's getting sick or dealing with something that hadn't shown up yet.
Okay.
there it is, full sinuses, just snotty, or, and I'm like, oh, or a fever, or whatever it was she was moving through her that came out as illness. She didn't feel good. And I'm like, you've got to remember, she is a good person at the core. She is so sweet, and she is not combative. She is not a stink and mean, she's none of that. That is not it. She's whatever she's doing that I don't understand, that's
And she
showing
doesn't really have a voice.
sick. Yeah, as being sick. And
Yeah.
so
She can't tell you, I'm feeling very uncomfortable right now. I feel like I'm coming down with something or whatever.
Right. Or or whatever energy she was working on, it's stuck. I pulled it off of somebody else and it hurts, and it's going to manifest and show itself physically in my body now for you to help me. But yeah, I really, if I had even just a dime for every time I said, oh yeah, that's right. For to treat, greet her with love, because she is not what I'm seeing today, this difficult or whatever it would be that I'm faced with. That's not her. And I know it, but it's hard. But you know better, you do better.
Yeah. And you can even use those Post-it notes as little Post-it notes, so that when you go to the bathroom, you look up, and with those little points on it too. But it doesn't do anybody any good to rehash all the bad stuff of the past and beat themselves up over it. It does no good at all.
There's so much programming that once you realize that it's programming, and so for the special needs community, it's just, what in the 60s they would, it's just, I can't even hardly say it. I have to say it. Yep, they want me to say it. I might start crying, but they would take needs kiddos and they would put them away in hospitals, and the families would just walk away from them. And then they would torture them with electrocution.
Oh my gosh.
Because they told us that it would help them. Or they would is it called a lobotomy, when you take out the brain? That they would do partials and go in and so that's in our, collective consciousness somewhere, all of that torture, for sure.
Totally.
And it kind of makes me wonder, now that we know, what I'm showing you, what Julie is and how special she is, it's like backwards. Okay. Somebody somewhere that did this on purpose. I mean, and even if they did, we have to send love and light. We have to let go. We have to take it down with love and light. We can't take it with anger. We have to wash that out with love and light and divine light and blessings. And we have to take this out of our collective consciousness, and especially the special needs parents today are probably tapping into that guilt, shame, and programming.
Well, yeah, even with
I got so much chills. I did not know I was going to be talking about this today, but
even with the religious contrast right now too.
Chills. I got full body chills. This is what they wanted me. This is the profound. They kept telling me something profound was going to happen today, and this is profound. So, Amy, what's the possibility of doing some light language as a blessing to release this old way, this old hospital lobotomy damaging? Is there something we can do, prayer work or something? I mean,
I want to include the religious aspect too, just because because there's so many people trying to decide whether they're doing the right thing or not, and they're trying to do it from that old system thinking, guilt, shame, blame, we are, they are. And it's like they need to drop into their heart and just know, like, if I'm coming from a place of love, I'm connected to God and I am doing the right thing, period. No matter what some book says, and no matter what some preacher says, and no matter what anybody says, it's like it as long as it's coming from love, that is God. You are one with God in that moment, in love, period. that rules all. That is the ultimate truth. Okay, so let's do a blessing for that. All right.
Yeah, absolutely, for that. Yeah.
Shinshai lakina po ma'aan. Hai lai na taikin sa shiilake. Alama na hela. Shishi na hanapum paina ai. Shishi lakina tatan sanse. Shishi la hena haike. Ela on bom pamahamaan. Titin sa se hela. In shishi haike. Ela hem pam pamaan. La shin she lucky in tate san. Papa oh not Taitans. Shishi he amaan. I felt like some people like feel really bad that they aborted their developmentally disabled child when they found out, or they just had abortions in general. For some reason that just came up for during the blessing too. So let go of that shame and blame and all that with that too, and just it is what it is. It was all meant to be. And radical acceptance of everything. Just be radically accepting of it all and just come from that place of love with it. Do that exercise. Thank you, God, for my misery. Even what?
Oh, it's just so much. I mean, it's just full body chills. I'm dizzy. There's a lot in it. There's a lot. Of course there is. It's a lot. Years.
We all have to get deprogrammed from and unplugged from the matrix,
Guilt
back to
of
nature.
Guilt of did you could have done something unknowingly to cause some harm too, but it would have been unknowingly in the conscious. And I suppose on the soul level, it was a lesson.
Yeah. I love you, even though.
So big. It's so big. And now Julie's hitting her head in there. She's working on it too. I have a feeling.
Michelle, I love you, even though you've gotten angry at her. I love you, even though you fed her the wrong things and she reacted to it. I love you, even though you put her in harm's way, not realizing. I love you, even though you've gotten in a moldy home and that's affected her and you ended up having to leave and it put you guys through all that stress. I love you, even though you've had to move from home to home to home to home. I love you, even when you've misunderstood her. I love you, even when you just didn't get it and you kept doing it over and over and over the wrong way. I love you, even though you've brought people into your guys' life that you then regretted and look back on and wished you hadn't. I love you no matter what you ever do. I love you no matter what you've ever done. I love you no matter how she's ever been towards you. That's been a misunderstanding, or that, you think she hates you or anything like that. I love you even when she hates you. Like, I love you no matter what. That's the kind of love we need to have for ourselves.
Yeah. Oh boy. That's what I want that to happen for every single special needs parent, every single sibling of a special needs child or adult child. That you just did for me is profound. Whoa. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. If when we start by, loving ourselves in that way, then we can just perpetuate it everyone we touch. And it's happening.
Amy, I can see that. I can see all these special needs parents when they go through what you just took me through. I can see their strength. They are so strong. It's like an army. I can see it. My goodness. Like they're really they're like the strongest of the strong. If they will forgive themselves and just repeat what you said to each other, like if a couple would do that back and forth, the healing that could happen worldwide. Just follow what you just did and do it. Because it was really big for me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yay.
Oh my goodness.
I can tell Julie feels that too.
Can you? Oh, I got a lot going on. Woo! I just need to like move. Oh.
I'm picking a card for Julie. Divine intervention. God sends miracles to answer sincere prayers.
Yes, that was divine intervention.
Oh,
That
my
was
goodness.
miracle for sure.
Answered prayers. What? Oh, it's a totally different card. All your great work has opened the door for divine solutions and support. 2 cards in a row about answered prayers and your legion of angels.
Whoa.
Good night. Have you watched the video, the inspiring story with the gal who talks to angels?
Not yet.
And has all the artwork in the background. You might want to watch
no,
that.
I did watch. I didn't get all the way to the end, but I did watch probably 75% of it. And I was like,
she does a little blissing in the end. She shows a picture of one of her pieces of artwork. And it's a very moving piece. I had chills the whole time I was listening to it. So you might want to go to the end part. And there's a description in the usually in my videos, there's like timestamps a lot of times. So you might be able to find the timestamp where it's, where it talks about her, doing the blissing.
I will. I have so much going on right now. It's just really interesting.
It'll be, I feel like something's going to shift for you in about 3 days. That'll be fairly profound. I mean, I know it already is, but something really neat is going to happen in about 3 days that you're just going to feel very free, feel very, very free.
I can't wait.
I know. It'll be awesome. You'll have to tell me.
I will. Things are really fun.
Yay.
Right now. So fun. And yeah, just piggyback on what you said about religion. I converted to become a Catholic right when I first got married, because that was their way. And the minister of our church suggested that it might be easier if I would do that. So I did. But then as I was talking to my dad, like, Dad, this doesn't make sense to me. I don't feel like I need to go through a priest. I really don't. I feel like I've got a divine connection myself. Why do we have to go through a priest? And he just goes, you don't have to. You just don't have to. You've got it there. Just do what you know is right, and just, make your way. Just make your way the way you know is right. So,
wow.
With what you said there, for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's undeniable. I was in the same boat. Like, I was a Bible talk leader and, went to church all the time and all of that. And I met a woman who talked to angels, who was very kind and loving and compassionate and full of joy. And I felt so much love and warmth around her. And I finally was like, well, the Bible's always talking about fruits of your labor. When I'm around, the Christians, a lot of the Christians, I feel a lot of rigidity and judgment and anger.
Yeah.
And when I'm around this other woman, I feel nothing but love and compassion and acceptance. And I feel closer to God, with this other woman. So I thought, that's when I kind of made the switch. I was like, yeah, I'm leaning toward love here, not black and white rules and regulations and legalism and, all of that fearful stuff. So all about love. She
feels very special, for sure. Are you sure she wasn't an angel?
Who?
This lady that you're talking of.
Oh gosh, well, probably probably an earth angel.
She's pretty special.
Yeah.
Pretty special energy, for sure.
Oh, She used to give me full body massages
Oh,
for $10.
oh my God.
Amazing. I was so spoiled. I
Oh,
just love that woman.
she's walking the path of divine love for sure. Yeah.
And she would tell me some things that I thought was pretty nuts back then that now I know to be true. Like she would say, well, Zimbabwe notes, they're going to be worth a lot of money in the future. And all these banks are in control of the world and blah, blah, blah. And I'd just be like, what the hell is she talking about? Is she rambling on about, you know?
She is so special.
Right?
She is not, I don't know. I don't think she's what she presented as.
And she would just like add these little things and she'd just let me know certain things. Well, you know, our world is controlled by the Rockefellers and the blah, 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 you know, and I'd just be like I had no clue what she was talking about. But, you know, it's like when it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to happen, even with your you know, your loved ones that you think will never be convinced. They will have their time. Everyone's going to have their time when all of a sudden everything that they had heard prior, it's like it all clicks. Whoa.
Do you think she was like a special being sent to help with your early training to get you? Because the work you're doing right now, Amy, is profound healing for so many. I mean,
Thank you.
I'm like, was she just the little to just tweak it a little bit and get you going?
She was totally instrumental in that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I met her through a husband that I had for almost 10 years. And if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have met her. So, you know, everything happens for a reason.
I love how everything happens for a reason, especially when you can connect all the dots and go, oh, I get it.
Yeah. You know what's even funnier? This is even funnier. She wasn't even a relative anymore of their family. She was a prior relative. It wasn't even a part of the family anymore, but they still kept in contact. They were still friends. So she just happened to come to our wedding and I just happened to meet her. And we clicked. And it's just like, what? So yeah, it's what an amazing journey. You know, that's what we need to watch too, is all the signs and synchronicities that point us, you know, you'll have so many chills and all sorts of things show up in your world, like the, you know, the dandelions and the hummingbirds. And you know, we got to look at the book and what does hummingbirds mean? What does the dandelion mean? You know, like look at everything right now and kind of follow the breadcrumb trail, because you know, we're navigating moment to moment like this, and yeah, we know we're being led like that.
It's like watch for the magic, because it's there.
Totally.
All around you, all the time. Watch
so
and listen and feel for the magic.
Oh my God. Okay, so this ties in too, of course. I just posted on Instagram today about how we need to be. I bought this little owl, and it came with like a little label that goes with it. It talks about being wise and being silent, like Julie, being wise and being silent, and what that can do for you, how that can shift things. And so, I mean, it's just, yeah. And I had just said that. I said, watch what happens. Watch the magic that happens when you quiet yourself, when you don't have to make that comment under that person's video and correct them, when you don't have to, say something negative about somebody or make fun of them, or you don't have, when you can just be quiet, and don't do it. Don't react to anything. Just let it be. And it's like there's this agitation. It's your ego going, like me and my friend, what we went through. We were love. Then boom, there's like a spilling over that happens, a leveling up that happens that just goes, whoa. So glad I didn't make that comment. So, because it's like the universe comes in and shows you, look, you didn't have to control it. I made it happen. Do you trust me now?
Yeah,
it's all going to work out.
There's so much.
You didn't have to say that thing. You didn't have to do that thing. It still worked out perfectly. Even better.
Love in the allowance.
Mm-hmm.
Love in the allowance. I mean, I can relate that to Julie, and just observing her as she would meet milestones and the work she had to do, and honoring the work and recognizing it and watching it and observing and blessing the work she had to do, which was 10 times more than a regular kiddo just to do that one milestone and allowance, just allowing her to go through the process she had to go through. So, but I can relate that to anything, just allowing people to learn, whatever. They'll go back and watch their own video or they won't. Does it really? Either way, allow them to make that mistake. Or was it really even a mistake? Or was it for you, the observer who wanted to judge it, was it a lesson for you to allow allowance? Was it really on purpose mistake? So consider it's
oh my gosh.
Circle, isn't it?
Wow. I'm so grateful that you wanted to do this talk today.
I'm so grateful that you joined me in wanting to talk, because it's been amazing. It's been amazing. And I'm really especially grateful for the blessings and the light that we pulled in for past. And
it feels amazing. I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing right now.
Yeah.
Feels so good.
Full chills. Yeah. It's good. It's big.
Ooh, I felt drawn to one more Mary Magdalene card, then we can go.
I love it.
I just feel like she wants to tell us something that's coming for us, because we really are going through some major things are about to happen.
Divine feminine energy is really strong right now.
Okay, hang on a second. Hang on. Okay. All right. All right. What, Mary Magdalene? What's the message that you have for us about our future? Way that we can end this video today, please. Oh, of course, gratitude.
Oh,
gratitude is everything.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, that everything worked out so beautifully. Thank you, God, that you brought me through these blockages and brought me these realizations, and that you brought me these solutions, and that I'm completely healed. Thank you, God, for all of that. Okay. So if you are struggling to make ends meet or experiencing challenging times in your career or business, you may overcome the present difficulties through gratitude. Stop dwelling on what you think is missing and be grateful for all you already have. There's so much in your life to be grateful for, and it is through gratitude that the universe showers you with blessings. There is no need for negativity and fear, for this only serves to block the universal flow stream of abundance from flowing through. Have faith and be grateful. Focus on that which is positive, and all will be resolved soon. Yeah, I think that's a little hint about the RB too. You may expect a positive outcome over the coming 3 months. I give thanks for all the blessings in my life. I give thanks for all the abundance in my life, and I am always safe.
You got me again. That was on point.
Thank you, God, for always supplying for my needs. Thank you so much that I always have exactly what I need, even before I need it. Thank you that I'm so completely loved and supported in all ways and always. Thank you for always being there for me. Thank you that I never even have to ask.
I cannot wait to watch this back.
Me too.
Walk through this.
Me too. This is probably one of my favorite talks I've had.
Oh yeah, it was impromptu. Thank you.
It was perfect.
Or was it? Or was it? Yeah, I don't think it was, but maybe for you and I, we think it was.
So amazing. Well, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, everything, and give Julie a big hug for me.
I will. I will. All right.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.
Bye.